Section 1.4, How Not to Do Statistics. So many studies are conducted and conclusions are made. However, there are occasions where the study is not conducted in the correct manner or the conclusion is not correctly made based on the data. There are many things that you should question when you read a study. There are many reasons for the study to have bias in it. Bias is where a study may have a certain slant or preferences for a certain result. The following are a list of some of the questions or issues you should consider to help decide if there is bias in a study. Okay, one of the first issues you should ask is who funded the study. If the entity that sponsored the study stands to gain either profits or notoriety from the results, then you should question the results. It's always funny to read certain publications for different publishers and their online homework systems. Pearson will publish one that says, my math lab is the greatest. McGraw-Hill will publish one that shows that Connect Math is the greatest. So again, it doesn't mean that the results are wrong, but you should scrutinize them on your own to make sure that they are sound. As an example, if a study says that genetically modified foods are safe, and the study was funded by a company that sells genetically modified food, then one may question the validity of the study. Since the company funds the study and their profits rely on people buying their food, there may be bias. Now again, the results might actually be sound, but again, called into question and should look at how they actually collected the data. An experiment could have lurking or confounding variables when you cannot rule out the possibility that the observed effect is due to some other variable rather than the factor being studied. So as an example of this, when you give fertilizer to some plants and no fertilizer to others, but the no fertilizer plants also are placed in a location that doesn't receive direct sunlight, you won't know if the plants that receive the fertilizer grew taller because of the fertilizer or because of the sunlight. So make sure you design experiments to eliminate the effects of confounding variables by controlling all the factors that you can. So again, this is where, talking with people before doing an experiment to try to think about all the variables that might play a role, and then to try to control for all of those except for the one that you're trying to measure.